All right, here we are, sunshine galore at Sonic Temple Art and Music Fest, day number 2 out of our 4 days. We're so blessed to have an awesome dude, Des Rocs. Well, hi.
Hi, how are you?
So I'm good, thank you very much. I'm much better now. I feel like prior to the actual live interview, you and I were like becoming best friends.
This kind of got in the way of the bonding, but
I
we'll get
know.
this out of the way and then we'll go
get
back.
to that. The first thing he said couch or chair, and I said either. And he said, okay, well, I'll get on the couch. I'll be the patient.
I've been on tour for a while. I have a lot to get off my chest. So
Let's talk about my mom.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. So Danny Rocco, and then what kind of transpired with your name? Was that just a nickname or whatever?
I think Danny Rocco is too obvious. You know, I was named a stage name already,
Okay.
and I needed some sort of alter ego to climb into.
Okay.
I don't think anyone would believe me if I said that was my real name.
I gotcha.
It sounds a little too much like a boxer from like a 70s Stallone movie, you know?
I could totally get the vibe.
Yeah.
I get that. So let me ask you about this. Does this get hot?
It does get hot, but I'm used to it. Like, this is a second skin, and fashion and the iconography of rock and roll is very important to me.
It looks really great. Now, did you put Vaseline inside there?
No, it's just nature's Vaseline. It's just sweat from the stage, and I'm good to go for a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your music. For anybody that's like not sure of you and your music and your style and your album and all that stuff, tell me how you kind of got started, what you have going on right now, you know, with your new song and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's a long story. I mean, I started playing bars and basements when I was 12, 13 years old in Long Island and Queens. And
Yeah.
I would play any place that would have me. And I would be on these bills playing to like 7 kids. There was a lot of emo music and punk. And I would get up there and I would think I was Bruce Springsteen. I would pretend to play to 80,000. And it was like crickets for like 10 years. And I would really define my sound as kind of bedroom arena rock.
I gotcha.
You know, I make it all myself. This new album, though, is with a lot of amazing collaborators. Al Johannes from Queens of the Stone Age, unbelievable.
Yeah.
And we teamed up last year and made an album that I would live and die for every single note and every lyric on it. So I'm excited to finally share the first single with the world, Never Ending Moment.
How did you get hooked up with him?
I just DM'd him on Instagram.
You did?
See, I have no shame. You know, everyone's like, you gotta play it cool, go through the proper channels.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I
I'm like,
love that.
I'm the opposite of cool. I'm the opposite of play it cool. I'm just gonna go for it,
Yeah.
and either I'm gonna swing and whiff and fall on my ass, but I don't know if I could curse, or I'm gonna connect and knock it out of the park. And
Yeah.
he responded, and we got to make an album together.
That is really great. Okay, so kids at home, make sure you follow Des Rocs. Just DM your favorite artist. If you've got some music, there's a good chance something could happen. I mean, come on.
You don't ask, you don't get.
So talking about your mom, we're not going to go on the therapy route, but is she proud of you, obviously, in New
Oh
York?
boy, how much time you got, Doc?
Yeah, let me hear about your family life. You said a lot of kids listening as you were trying to be Bruce Springsteen, but
Yeah.
tell me about you and your family growing up.
You know, I grew up in New York, youngest of 3 boys, from a very like sports-driven family, and I wanted nothing to do with that. I wanted to take any drops of athleticism I had and just bring it to the stage.
I love this.
I grew up worshiping Queen and Elvis and just music that was larger than life, and it's been my life's goal since I was a little kid to stand on the shoulders of giants and modernize big rock music.
That's really beautifully cool.
Thank
I
you.
love that.
Thank you.
So when it comes to writing your songs, though, you know, I know you've teamed up and everything, but when you write a song, is it something that you feel kind of pressure to do, or is there something that inspires you that just kind of makes it flow? And do you ever get writer's block? Like, are there panic modes or any of those things?
Yeah, process is a tough thing. I describe my process as me constantly searching for my process. I wish I knew what it was. I wish I would wake up, I go, I got lyrics from 9 to 10, guitar riff's gonna come at 11.
That
but
makes sense.
It's so manic, you know,
That
it's
is-
all over the place. The middle of the night, usually a voice note will possess me, and then I'll stay up all night chasing something, and then I won't have anything I wanna say for a couple weeks, and then I'll have a lot I wanna get off my chest and write.
That is amazing. Like, but I love how you said that. You're constantly searching for your process.
That
and
is the
I
process.
mean, that's the process.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy to think, because I feel like once you're signed or once you really get to that spot, the pressure is so on. We were just talking to the guys in Bad Flower, and the big thing has always been in life, you have your whole life to write your first record. And then all of a sudden, you've got to jam out some more stuff, you know, because you're on a timeline now. So I wonder the pressure that you feel, but You know, it's just really crazy to think about that.
The only pressure I feel is internal,
Yeah.
and that's just to make art and rock and roll music
Yeah.
that people will sing 50 years from now. And that's
Yeah.
the only thing I care about. You
Yeah.
know, nobody cares how long it took you to make
That's true.
a good record.
Now, if you ever wanted to collaborate with anyone else or anything, any other band, who would it be? Is there any individual? I mean, you mentioned Freddie and, you know, all that, but is there somebody living you would love to collaborate with?
Somebody living. Oh man, that's really tough.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna have to. Dave Grohl.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah, Dave Grohl.
Yeah, the guy is crazy.
But and maybe not in the way you think, because I would love,
Okay.
I would love for him to play drums. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just obsessed with his drumming, and I'm obsessed with the influences that he's obsessed with. And I think that would just be a crazy combination of worlds.
Yeah. You guys could stand in his garage, drink champagne and beer, and get it going. I would love
Yeah,
that.
just explore, you know.
Dave Grohl, if you're listening, you're going to get a DM from Des Rocs tomorrow.
Don't think I haven't DM'd him yet.
So I'm going to ask you a couple weird questions because it's the way I love to do things.
Perfect.
One would be, if you had one song that you've ever heard that's not yours, that you wish you'd written, what would it be?
Another One Bites the Dust by Queen.
Wait, what?
Another One Bites the Dust.
Another One Bites the Dust.
By
Well,
Queen.
that's a great answer. That's quick as hell. Are there any other songs from Queen that you really...
Yeah, most of them. We Will Rock You, to me,
Yeah.
is one of the most, not only iconic,
Yeah.
but forward-thinking songs of all time.
Yeah.
It is a rock song with no instruments until the last
Yeah.
30 seconds. It's stomping and clapping before anybody stomped and clapped in a song.
Yeah. Oh, here, watch this.
Yeah.
You got to love that stuff.
Absolutely.
So give me one example of something that you have done in your life that you wish you didn't do. Not regretful, but something like, maybe something like you wish you had done something when you were younger and you didn't do it, and now you're kind of regretting that you didn't do it, or kind of a weird question, but I don't want you to get too deep. Something simple.
So something I wish I did, but I didn't do, but I also don't regret.
Okay, perfect.
Do I have that right?
See the process?
Yeah. We have the same process, I
Yes,
think.
sir.
You know, I really wish that I put in the hours on Ableton, which is a very sorry and sad kind of sounding thing to say, but it's a music making software.
Yeah.
And if you grow up on it and you're proficient on it, you're unstoppable. You know?
Really?
You can just immediately take an idea that's in your brain and breathe life into it.
Okay.
And I never got to the point where I like grew up with it. I wish I was on it more. You know?
Yeah. What about, how do you feel about AI? This whole AI thing is like crazy,
I'm freaked,
right?
man. I'm
Kind of
freaked.
scary.
Yeah, I don't know what it means
Yeah.
for anything, and I don't think anybody else does.
Yeah.
But the one thing I know that AI will never replace or even compete with is the human connection at a live show.
That's the truth.
So I always just hold on to that, regardless what happens in the record making side of things. To look a kid in the eyes who's 17 years old in Alabama on a Sunday night, like I did 3 days ago,
Yeah.
and share a moment of genuine rock and roll ritual, which to me I hold so sacred.
I gotcha.
There's no AI involved.
That is really cool. Yeah, that's a great answer. You're right. I mean, AI is all fake. Human,
Yeah,
it's a human connection.
yeah, that's right. You can't AI that.
So it's good to see you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And can I call you Danny?
Call me whatever you like.
Danny, it's nice to meet you. Des Rocs on stage at Sonic Temple Art and Music Fest. And this is going to get so sweaty it might slide off. Just saying, girls, he's kind of cute. All right. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Day 2, Sonic Temple Art and Music Fest with the Blitz.